Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Makabadash. Rule and teach well, peace and salutations to the brothers of the four corners of this earth, pushing this truth in truth and in sincerity, risking their lives more now so than ever to do so. So here once again another week. I mean, in the midst of the prophecies, in the midst of everything that was written coming to pass. And we're in a situation where it's either you do or either you don't. You know? And no matter what side you take, it's still going to be what? The will of the Lord. You still end up falling into what? The hands of the Lord. Because at the end of the day, He's the director. We just the characters in His movie. You know? Ultimately. Right? So I'll give my Hebrews 10 and 30, I believe it is.
It's in the book of Hebrews chapter 10 verse 13. It says, for we know him that hath said, vengeance belongeth unto me. I will recompense, said the Lord. And again the Lord shall judge his people.
Yeah, vengeance belongeth to the Lord. You understand? It's an Acts where it says, if it was of men, it would come to naught.
Acts 5.
Right. You understand? Vengeance belongs to the Lord, because if we take up arms against our enemies, what you think what happened? It will come to naught. Because we made enemy, blessing was what the sword. You know what I mean? The sword and the sword in all forms. Not just the actual weapon sword, but biological, you know what I mean? Any oppressive way they could use the sword, that is their blessing. That's why they're on top, because it's their blessing and it's their time to be on top. Right? Now you say what vengeance belongs to Him, He will deal with it. You know, we're not under stat here to take it upon ourselves to go and recompense them that wrong us. You know what I mean? The righteous to recompense wrong, but it's for Him to do it, not for us. Not for 31 on.
31?
Yeah. Yeah, no problem.
If I could add too, because they say that we enemy's blessing is the sword, which is Esau Edom, but our blessing is Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Can so that if we used to pick up a sword to go against Esau, it come like we going against the blessing, because as the Lord say, wait on Him until He rise up to the prey.
It's the book of Hebrews chapter 10 verse 31. It says it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God.
Yeah. It's a fearful thing to fall into His hands, because why? He could cast the soul into hell, not just destroy the flesh. You know what I mean? Any other enemy you have could only destroy the flesh. And we all know everything is temporal. We all know the flesh is temporal. Everything after that is what? Permanent, constant. Right?
Now you'll see also the situation we're going through. Whether it be the situation that we're going through now, or the situation that going and go through the healings in the future, there's nothing that anybody could do to change that settings.
Correct.
You understand? Everything set it, everything, as they say, everything, let's say, always go through. I want to rule my destiny. No, we can't nothing like that. You understand? And why scriptures say what you can do nothing against truth, but for the truth. Without no change in the way it is going to happen. And that goes for the positives as well as the negatives.
That is why it's fearful to fall into the hands of the Lord, because it's you not in control.
Or even for the ones that people think is a negative, because people might look at it like, so why God can't change your mind and say heathens can be saved too? None of that shit gonna happen. And I'm glad. I'm glad. If I was ever brought up in some society where I had a real cool Edomite friend, and he was, you know, kept to say what they say when I'm a man say, please you don't make enemies to be at peace with him. And a lot of Gms.S.O.T.E, they in that mind frame. They in that mindset where, because they might be at peace, the heathens might be somewhat at peace with them, and there are certain allegiances with the heathens to do business and work with them and whatever. They find that we should be cool with them too. F with them. You understand? F with them. We understand that everything's set to be a certain way, and if not going to deviate from that. That's why I say, what if some did not believe? But they choose to accept it or not, it's not going to change the reality of the matter. Israel was made to receive the blessing. They were made to be the holy people. And all the good things that come with it. And they were made to be footstools. You understand? You understand? That's something I'm
Go ahead, bro. Give me some more.
Yesterday, Romans 13, I'll start from 1, right? It said, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. It said, for there is no power but of God. Right? So let's show you what it is. He most high control everything. And everybody else had to go along with it, whether they be on the positive side or whether they be on the negative side. You just had to go along with the picture. No matter how much you might like this or you might prefer that.
Because now you know about church.
And
there is no free good.
And that is when people the tears come in. That's why when you pray, they say what? Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. His will is not always pleasant.
At least to us.
Yeah. Yeah, not always to be. I mean to go through.
Yeah.
You know, to deal with like you say yeah, to eat man's dog, like that one. I never eat such. You can't start to, you understand? And all is even scaled up to the situation that we are now, because right now it have men getting blown up outside of the seas. That is Lord's will. You understand? That people will look at that and believe that it's not, or they would think to themselves that that should be transpired. But that is not how this is working. Right? However the Lord chooses to do things, whether he chooses to bring destruction, he chooses to bring peace to some, all of that is how it will happen. And that's why we're supposed to what? They say show yourselves as men. And how they say what no you tell the Lord. We persuade men. These are things you have to have in your mind to understand so that when it does come, you can be able to deal with it a certain way. Imagine knowing when you come into the truth that hey, mommy and daddy might make it. You understand? Brothers and sisters, like actual blood brothers and sisters might not make it. And there's nothing that you can do about that. These are realities that you just have to face, whether it is you understand righteousness, whether it is you find it should be that way or not. That is just how it is. And to a lot of people that it be stumbling blocks. You might have a mother who is an Edomite. Mommy ain't gonna make it better. Do you understand? You gotta be at peace with that. They say for there's no power but of God. They say the powers that be are ordained of God, ordained of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And that way they say what? They say what he ruled in the kingdom of men and he set up the basis of men. Right now the lowest of the low are the ones that are in the highest places right now. And they say the things they say I see servants on horses and kings walking as servants on the earth. The Lord had the power to do something like that. And in time to come, he's the one who will turn from how it is and turn it back to where it's supposed to be. When they go in and go back to being the lowest, and we go in and go back to being the highest. They say, whosoever therefore resisted the power, resisted the ordinance of Yahweh. They say, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. And just like what I was talking about earlier, this is something that we had to go through. We have no choice but to wait it out, and the scriptures say what? Patience. I have a reason why I tell you about patience and about faith and not all these different things. I'm telling these things for a reason. Because you have to have it. You have a choice. You don't have a choice. We don't know when is the time. We don't know how many things we may have to deal with. You don't even know if you might have to be a brother who had to get your head cut off. Or if you might live to see the end. Whatever it be that you had to go through, you had to deal with it accordingly. But that is the trying of your faith. Right? That is how it is you're going to receive your crown. I didn't know how
No, I say 66, 14.
66, 14.
Well, brother, I was saying, as you try on your faith, man, the scripture says Timothy, and your hardness as a good soldier. You understand? Or you think soldiers you have to go through rigorous training and, you know what I mean, for months. You know? You have to go through all different types of training in the forest. Things you never do before, you have to learn to do. As disciplinary actions, this humiliate you. All these things is break your mind so that they can build it up to what they want you to be. You know what I mean? So if you're a regular citizen and you enter the defense force, they apply, you get through whatever. When you pass out, once you complete your training regimen, when you pass out, you are no longer a regular citizen, you become what? State-owned property. You know? So it's the same concept when it comes to the Lord. You know what I mean? You find the truth, the Lord leads you to the truth. You know what I mean? You spend time, you spend your years in it, you become, and then you pass out as well. As I elect. You know? And between then and being the elect. Because we can see the signs of the elect, what we can say is, well, we are the hopeful elect. You know? Because why? We are the truth. That's why we believe ourselves to be hopeful elect. But concerning the precept where it say set a mark, go to Jerusalem and set a mark on the heads of the men. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Right? We can see that mark, right, for the angel to see. Now we hoping that we have that mark. Right? That is why what? That is why we do what we do. You know what I mean?
Say what to make a call an election show.
Gone. Let's say what? Either shall escape by what? It works. And then what faith wherein you have belief, because it works that show that you believe. If you didn't believe, you wouldn't be out here doing this. You know what I mean? If you didn't believe, you would not give up Christmas and pop. If you didn't believe, you're surely not giving up carnival. If you really, you're away. You're not finding an excuse to be away.
You know, so are those who may appear to be doing the work, but they might be sincere. That always can just say what? They say there are those who preach Mashiach of envy and strife. Now I say what they say, have not we cast out devils and say Lord, Lord and so forth, and he wouldn't accept them because they didn't do it in sincerity. You understand? So there will be those who may appear outwardly to be sincere, but really and truly there wasn't, because they was just they didn't really believe ultimately. It's like when you're talking about being a soldier, remember Rambo? I think part 1. Listen, my boy, he's the best. He's been trained to live off the wild, eat things and make a really good puke. You understand? He went through the most rigorous conditioning
so
to be able to end
like
up how he was.
That come like where they make me to be, so I could endure here, because I would they make me to be. This is what I train for.
You understand? And that is show how important this conditioning process is. Already and truly, if we wasn't going through the things we will be going through now, we'd have been just like everybody else. That why it's saying Ecclesiasticus 2 is say prepare your soul for temptation. As soon as you come to the house of the Lord, that is start automatically. And that is to what? That is a conditioning process to make you a certain way and also to separate you from everybody else. You understand? You're not supposed to be like your fellow man out here. You understand? The only thing you're supposed to be is like your fellow act, not nobody else. You might dwell among people and so forth, but the way you think and the things you do, it don't resemble what everybody else is doing. And that's why you stick out like a sore thumb. Because when holiday times come, everybody wearing the little reindeer antlers and like the Pan-African, like a party at work now. Christmas people, everybody come in the little sweater,
with the Grinch,
right? All of those
Christmas
stuff.
theme,
If you don't believe in that stuff, you want to stick out like a sweater because you're against that. You might even come. Or if you do come to work on that day, you're not going to be like everybody else.
You in your uniform and you might say, alright, I will take some of this, and you just go on with it.
Exactly. Yeah. All the ham on that table, you're going somewhere, so you might eat.
No, alright, I ate a big lunch. It's okay, I had a big lunch.
You stick out like a sort of, and that's something you had to learn to be at peace with. You understand? All these things that be stumbling block onto men. All these things that be ways to weed men out of the circle, because if it is that you can't conform to these things, then you're not ready of the Lord. You want to be like everybody else. And you're going against the process that the Lord created, which is to separate you from everybody else. And that's what the Lord is doing. The Lord is separate you from everybody else.
But the word holy is to be separate. You can't be holy and expect to do the things of the world. Right? That's just basically it. You don't understand that when you read how the men at the Lord used to be, right? Or how men used to be for the Lord, you would actually see how you're supposed to be. Right? The scripture says everything is written for our example unto you. Right? It's for your learning. People say for for doctrine, profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, right? So it's a form of learning. So when you read and you hear about how the man is to be, that is how you want to be as well. That was caused to what? Before was me saying he was a follower of who? Right? So that is how you want to be. The excuses is that's word. It's word that make excuses. You understand? It's word. That's a real worldly kind of mindset. Right? Making excuses right through, that's a worldly mindset. Because it has no excuse to come when Esau come around here, having great wrath. You feel you want to hear any excuse? No. It have a decision to make there. Alright, and that's the difference. When it comes to the Lord, if you're making more excuses, doing things to the Lord, and you ain't making excuses to do things in the world, then literally it's just normal. It's another way to put it around. You understand? It's as straight as it could be. The Lord make it have no in between. This is something the Lord make clear. Right? It have no in between. It's rather you're for him or against him. Right? Or rather you're hot or you're cold. It have no in between. You understand? That's something and that's gonna be carried on a greater scale when this M.O.T.E hit. Right? For all the men that would lukewarm, that is when the lukewarm mindset going to be to the forefront because now you would see those lukewarm, they don't have that strength because why? They're not focused on the scriptures. It's on everything else. You understand?
Every time that the spirit of convenience,
yeah,
you understand, will be wiped away. So
yep.
Esau will also be saying, draw your line in this and
yeah, draw your line. You can't
do
do in between. No, I can't eat chip. You can't tell Esau, I can't eat chip today. I'll take it next week. No, that's not that.
You can say, well, allergic to that kind of plastic. You can make it to the front guy. It's either take it or not take it.
That way, see, I don't understand where you're in. You know?
See, guys, like I said, that's really feel this community already and true. There will be people who wouldn't take the ship. But if the Lord not standing for you, you still do legend. So that is what we're looking for the Lord to stand for us at that time.
You know what? Before you bring that Isaiah, bring the Ecclesiastes 2 from verse 10 to 1 from verse 10. Because you mentioned it or not, very true, man. Because the time now about to come, as the brother was saying, the time now about to come with all the lukewarmness or all the double-mindedness, all the unstableness will be brought to the forefront. Because in the book of James it says what a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, not some. You know, and it had a saying on social media, all this quote that going around that says the way you do anything is the way you do everything. You understand? So if you're double-minded for this, you'll be double-minded for everything. You know? You'll be unstable. Right? Go ahead from Gustav. Go ahead.
Alright, Ecclesiasticus, the book of Sirach, chapter 2, from verse 10. It says, look at the generations of old and see. It said, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded?
Yes, again, the scripture says to look back.
Yeah.
There's something you have to realize that you have to go back to the accounts was given unto us from before. Then my trust in the Lord was always given away. How? You know, obviously some of them died, and that is an example. And the same way it is, everything has examples.
That's what
not everybody going to be
transcending or anything like that. Some of us have to
some of us have to be part of the scriptures have to clear. All the scriptures matter of fact. Let's go to talk about them being the matters of the Lord, for them being beheaded. It just would have them that would be the Lord. Right?
That was a way out.
And that was a way out.
That is a way out.
It said the dead in the Lord shall go rise first. You understand? So it have its benefits to that as well, right? Now this is where you have to realize is that when you're watching back and you're reading, you might not put a trust in the Lord always away. One when nobody broke, the bird come on, feed them, right? And it have many other stories that was given out to us, and that is what you have to talk about putting your trust in who? To the Lord, right? Nothing else. But you see now, when you start to get caught up in the world, instead of this, think about it. Think about it like this. This is where this comes from. You gotta understand why minutes get vexed. It's because you put your full trust in everything, you do everything else. But when it comes to the Lord, you ain't doing nothing, or you ain't doing nothing you're supposed to be doing. Check
you're more diligent for Esau than for the Lord.
Yeah, no, and the thing about they're diligent for anything else, that's double-minded thing. Now when that man come and tell you, hey, little thing, you're vexed.
finding an excuse.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have a
Vex.
problem with you being diligent for everything but the Lord.
A man is trying to say strippers talk about
But that is love. That is love. So if a brother didn't love you, you would not do that. I want
the Hebrew study about for the fathers and watch by the spread, men and watch by us. So the apostles and elders when they come down on us, the more is because they watch us, it's the spread of truth. Okay, you don't understand any time we had an influence, if I was mentioning before, any little thing, people they fail to realize that if you got the spread of the Lord and here, the spread not dealing with it, that is it, it's gone. And you see that, how easy it is for men to just slip away.
God.
You know? You see that men, you know, I was watching Ella Man at the Zakpa do a video with a guy that said, you know, he come to apologize because he said he leave the post. Right?
I didn't take it
and
in
when they listen
massive.
to it, it's a guy that's from since long time, you know, when you're talking about that certain situation that's happened, man go go and find the video and watch it, and he went into the situation, but he still apologize because you get to realize that who had the truth, who was speaking the truth.
Right.
And that's especially the time we're getting into, a lot of men that follow, go in and come back.
Yep.
You know, they want to hear.
You and try to.
You know?
Like the prophecy with the virgins.
Yeah,
the
5
oil.
was wise,
You
and
want
5
come,
was
you want come
foolish.
looking for it.
Yeah, they come looking for the oil because again, what going on, because one thing going to affect everybody is the prophecies. You're not going to be exempted from it. The Lord say you can feel it over all flesh.
No, I
You know?
know too, even in Revelation 3 and 10 where he say what? Because thou hast kept my word of patience, I shall keep you from the moment of temptation that will come upon what? All the world.
Yeah, and all this again.
It had no hiding from
See,
it.
you could bring all works into it, and be what, good or bad.
Bad,
You
correct.
understand? So that is the thing, you're going to deal with every single thing and everybody. And I just said, sometimes you just wonder, hey, is that my excuse really and truly? We're close to the end. You understand? It's always remind me about that picture. It's that way, and again, what represents all of that? Because why? You see the prophecy scriptures talk about the end being what? Being manifest.
Correct.
Right? So it being made what? Clear and evident. And the Lord tell us about in the last days, right? What? The men are bringing one down and so forth and all these things, right? Before and you know, mentioning about the doctrines we're bringing in. We see it on a greater scale than before. Before you used to see it once, you see a man say something once in a while, you know, and thing. But now every single week, every single other day, you're hearing a
Somebody
different
coming with a different,
different breakdown.
something contrary to the truth.
Contrary, you hear men talking about heathens can
To
get
be
saved.
God.
You hear men talking about 1,000 years, that have a next 1,000 years that Esau will come back up
And
after
we're
we take
talking
over.
about men still debating what is the MOTV.
Well, men still, you know, all these things, but you see the difference in all these things was the Lord tell us about what that took place, right? And this is where you see him, right? So we are at the end. You understand? Well, you see the end, we wouldn't know that particular date or time,
God.
but we are at the end because the end is being one being manifest.
God.
So you understand the spirit that you don't understand what it's supposed to be. At any moment, we hear a bumper drop. You know, and some of the conversation I was listening to last night and some of the news, they was talking about what Trump want to do is hit them before Christmas or something along those lines. So he's just waiting for the proper time to hit them, hit Venezuela. That could do it. That obviously they're going to spark out a whole set of other stuff to hit. And then, if you're not dealing with the Lord the proper way, so then how you going to be protected from that time? You know?
I got the question. If a bomb was to drop now, would the Lord feed you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a question you should ask
Would the
yourself.
Lord feed you?
Yeah. That's a question you should ask yourself because at the end of the day, that's what it is. Go ahead.
See, Isaiah 66 verse 14, right? You see, and when you see this,
You didn't finish your surah.
Yeah,
Sirach, Sirach 2, Sirach 2 verse 10, it says, look at the generation of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any
No, go ahead.
you say, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken?
So was any abide in the Lord fear and was forsaken? No. And that is going back to saying you fear the Lord. How much you have to ask yourself if you really fear the Lord. Men fear the work more than they fear the Lord. You understand? When your boss talk to you, I don't want to lose your work. I don't want to lose my work. So they start to tip to one thing and tip to for the boss. And you same with the Lord. You say, yeah, they fear the Lord because they don't want to lose what? Your space in our chariot. Think. Let's think. But you can't think properly unless the spirit of the Lord dealing with it. You understand? And that's the thing, you know, hey, the time that we are in, you don't realize how serious it is. Everything is kicks and joke with Jake until a particular day reach. Until that day reach, guys, when they will say, I should do more. or should I listen to these men? Right? And you don't want to be like that. You just don't want to be like that. You see the same men who teaching all these abominable doctrines, so they feeling the time to come, when they realize that he's selling all that they do, they're just going to be like Judas. They want to give it back.
Right.
They want to give out that money. You understand? They wouldn't be able to spend it.
Banks crash.
You know, and that's I was watching I believe one of their posts on the Elliot videos, 2 days ago or 1 of these in the week here. And what the apostle said as well. He said, just answer it. When you chip it, are you guys going to take it? You know? If you don't believe in all evidence, but are you going to take it? And really and truly, we know they're going to take it.
Yeah, they could tell we know, but in the long run,
yeah.
when that time comes, right? When that time comes, they would, because as scripture says, you know what I mean? Everybody wanted to know what you willing to ask for until when? As scripture says, until the rain came.
Yeah.
Remember, we never see rain. Remember, we never really hear about nobody playing microchip in the hand in a big prominent way. That wasn't never a trend, so you know.
Yes,
When the rains come, right? When the banks crash, because you grew up with a bank garden, you understand? That's how they done indoctrinated already. Ease, so it's no more pushing now, it's swipe and tap now, right? And bank transfer from on your phone. You understand? Everything easy. So that's how they indoctrinated right now. So no, they can't crash the bank system and be advancing so much in it. Why they go do that? Look at the take a loan from on your phone. How they go do that and crash the system? That make no sense. And they were saying the government couldn't shut down the country while the country go right. And the country shut down and it's still running.
Let's talk about the wise in their own conceit, their own eyes. And there's plenty of the jigs outside there. What the wise in their own, wherever it is, they think it is that.
Whatever they think is right is right.
It's right. Not so it's
You have no correct.
so that way, I just yesterday I had a conversation with somebody. Two people. I didn't want to come in the conversation, but the person was telling the other person, hey, you know, this is what AI going to come up to, this is what they want to do, they want to control it. Nah, I ain't seen that happening. That happening, it's already happening. And I drop a conversation, I say, yeah, people that stop think like common, like you can't think, no, we know, because when you elect, we get that, right? But you can't think like a common person. Well, when I mean a common person, it's somebody that walk around just thinking about every day, you know? Today is for the day, everything. You understand? It's something like that. Because they know, let's say, when they have a lockdown, and what happened? They had a major lockdown worldwide. So, and any person will get quiet because they get to understand that, yeah, that is what they also show the power that these people have. But the mindset of the jiggling is that these things can happen and they will. And then
you say this can happen because it never happened. Yeah. Just like when you're in.
Yeah, that I'm going to mention, and that's what you better say when it comes to the flood. Right? When it comes to the flood, they didn't believe. You understand?
Until it was too late, until the door shut and the raised it.
What they say they was given in, what it was given into? What? Marriage,
mirth,
happiness, that is the same spirit. That is the same spirit.
Marrying, given into marriage, building.
You feel these people prepared tonight or tomorrow. America and Venezuela. You feel any of these people that are in China and prepared for anything? You understand? They're not.
Not mentally, much less mentally.
You understand?
And the country itself not prepared.
No, this is where it gets scary. It's because now, who going to be the elect protection? The Lord. The Lord is going to be the Lord protection. The elect protection, the elect protection. Right? So it goes to show how it's supposed to be more program for the Lord. You understand? All you want to protect you, and then you say, oh, they're going to be saved by what? By the faith and what? Works.
Where in there?
What the work you're doing? Your work is not, you work. It's not going to work in it.
Done.
That is not it. That's not it. Right? The Lord tell you what is the purpose of you waking you up to the truth. Why you wake up is to do what? To be a watchman.
Done.
You understand? To go out there and give that warning. And that's what they have to do. Not if, what, maybe. That's what they have to do. You can't call yourself a prophet and not do the work.
You can't call yourself a prophet and not be, as the scripture says, meditated in the prophecies.
It's a put the Lord first and everything else after what.
Seek ye the kingdom of heaven first and everything else will be added.
Yeah, that is the mindset it's supposed to be in.
Make sure election and calling
see, that is the pieces be. If you fail to realize that at times you go through stress, pain, whatever it may be going through, you put the Lord first and everything else is just be simple. You understand? And that is the thing. You see, that is the trust is having the Lord. That's why you see men who is that spirit continuing pushing. They just tell you, yo, we put the Lord first. Whatever pain we going through, that's what it is. It will come, it will go.
It has to happen and it go.
Yeah.
It will last forever.
I was watching Ella Manuel's my video when he works and he was talking about how a man's supposed to be when he comes to do the work of the Lord. You understand? How he's come to do the Lord's work, come on. Proper time, full run your thing. You make sure that your spirit and your soul can come and do the work of the Lord. It's supposed to be joyous. This is the work that they're supposed to do. Right? Okay, that is how it's supposed to be. And you realize that, hey, being a man, Lord, that is what it is. No excuse, eh? Every time I'm coming into the Lord and making excuses, because these prophecies on it. You understand? And again, a lot of men who fall, they don't want to come back and ask, how shall we be saved? You understand?
Actually, actively open.
And you don't want to be one of them. You understand? What do you?
So, all these they talk about like how a hen gathers the chicks.
Yeah.
You understand? You ever see a hen hatch chicks in a city when you try to touch around the chicks and yeah. Jump up and try to scratch you up and all kind of thing. You understand? That is really looking for that kind of protection that hedge. And even he says in Job, he says has thou not put a hedge about him and everything that he has. You understand?
Yeah, that's what you tell them if you have concern.
like we really asking me like.
Yeah, but you protecting them like you know, man.
Yeah,
I got more there and you don't say don't interfere with it.
I can't interfere with you. That's something going on me. You understand? That way for that music, one just say that I would never taste death. The men going on be good. They might go through those ship and still try them.
They go through all the time because why? The moment of temptation, it have to come upon all the eight, evenly prophets. However, it have the ones who will stand firm for the name of the Lord.
That's like I tell Satan, he say, take all you have but touch not his flesh. You understand? The Lord could do that. You know, going on, yeah, like go through some shit in him, but make sure he eats. And nothing happens to him.
You can do what you want, but you can't kill him. Make sure make sure you're alive.
Yeah, make sure he go there.
Make sure you do that. Otherwise,
and them don't make mistakes.
they don't falter.
Say, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? They say, oh, whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
Yeah, again, like what it says in Psalms, I was young and now I'm old, and I have not seen the righteous forsaken, or I forget the word, but it's like, no, let's only elect begging this thing.
Say verse 11 and say, for Yahweh is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering and very pitiful. It say, and forgive its sins and save it in time of affliction.
Yeah, he saved, he's the one to save me in time of affliction, nobody else. You understand? He is the master of that. He say, I form the light and I create darkness, I make peace and I create wars. I, the Lord, do all these things. You understand? He do all. He will carry you through your affliction and safeguard you from it at the same time. That is what he does.
I will say he will not cause you to suffer more than you are able.
Exactly.
He's the one who is suffering, but he will not let you suffer more than you're able, and he will make a way that you can come out of it.
God.
And if I can say, just like with Job, when it is that Job was suffering, the suffering has happened why? To cause you to stop doing what you're supposed to do. Once you stop doing what you're supposed to do, mission accomplished. Satan, you understand? Mission accomplished. Once the suffering stop you from doing what you're supposed to be doing, the mission accomplished. It's only when it is you actually still continue despite suffering. That is when it actually means something. Once you suffer and stop, Mission failed. You might not slug. Mission failed. That is not what you're looking for. It say verse 12. It say, woe be to the fearful hearts.
What will be to the
Fearful hearts.
God? Because why the scriptures say what? Lord didn't give you a spirit of fear. You understand? So destruction to them because that is of the world. I didn't give all of that. We only take up that from when they went by the heathen and then that shepherds us. You understand? Only had one commandment was what? Fear the Lord.
Yeah, that's the only thing we was ordered
And
to
the only thing we was ordered to fear the Lord. So just say what? Fear not. We ought to obey what? Power rather than men. You know what I mean? Because all they could do is what? Damage your flesh. The Lord could cast your soul into hell. Right?
damage your flesh if I let them damage your flesh.
Exactly. And that the most that can happen. God.
They say, woe to the fearful hearts
Mm-hmm.
and faint hands.
Yeah.
They say, and the sinner that goeth 2 ways.
Yeah, the faint hands, the hands are afraid to put in the work. You know what I mean? That will lead to your own demise, your own destruction. Because if you don't put in the work, you can't get your salary or salvation. How are you working for? Salvation. Salvation from everything. You know? Brother?
They say, woe unto him that is faint-hearted.
Nothing these degrees happen.
They say, for he believeth not.
Yeah, that is it.
See, and this also you realize when it comes to being faint-hearted, faint-hearted, right? You realize a lot of things that can make you come out to be that faint-hearted in the spirit, right? But it always go back to being more strong. You understand? And what will make you get stronger is being one. Obviously, doing more for the Lord, but being in the spirit. Okay, you got to realize that when these things happen unto you, because it was written, what is going to happen unto us, right? Obviously, you know that obviously there's certain things will get weak, you know, will make you feel that kind of certain way, you know. But that is the spirit that the Lord will be on you, strengthening through those times. Even if I don't need unto what they say, if we live for the Lord, and if we die for who? For the Lord. You understand? That is the spirit that it be, right? Just like many things that happen in the world, we feel they're going to turn to us to target us soon. You know, I was talking to the brother before with a shooting that just happened in Australia, right? And obviously, when you watch it, as everybody, you know, they post on news and the news, we know who the news is controlled by these small hats, right? So we know when the news post these things, you know, it's they attack the Jewish community and all that. Nowadays, want to make it seem like, you know, and what went on is that they had a particular person there, a small hat there, and he actually on the ground taking a picture, shots ringing out, people thinking, but you on the picture taking on the ground taking a picture of on your head. For what? Nobody had time to do that when it's time, when these things happening. You understand? But again, what I say is all over. No propaganda nonetheless. I want to say something because you know that they might flag the video, right? And
To push the agendas.
so the agendas. So everybody knows, everybody who saw the picture and saw the news was like, yo, this come on, they're trying to do better by now, man. This it's not working, and you know it's just not working.
Yeah, that was long time.
That was
time
in the
with that
past,
catch
long
tree.
time with that catch tree. That's not working, you know. And with that being said, you would see that because that is something they're trying to do. Because some months ago they did mention the second week in December something would have happened. Watch what went on in the second week, right? And people was like, come on, man. This is the same old trick they're trying to do over and over, and it's not working. So when they see that now, obviously they'll go harder. You understand?
So, they want we do new tricks,
Yeah,
no problem.
we do new tricks.
Coming right up.
You understand? And this will do. You understand? And obviously, they control. They can bring things, they can lie, the AI and so forth on us, and this is really hard to come down on us. And you don't want to be those that will become more faint-hearted. You understand? Anytime adversity, you stand for the Lord. You know, that's what you want to do. Right?
Like for example, like how Trump was talking about sending the guard into the cities and so forth. You understand? Any little thing that they could brew up to be able to initiate these things. Because they don't say they're going to do it already. You know? They don't put it out land strikes. Once you don't put it out there once, at any point in time, they could just do it and say they already won about it before. Same thing like sending the National Guard into different states. They don't put out that information there already. All these different things that they don't put out that they go in and do. at any point in time it could just happen.
Yeah.
And most of the time Esau just do these things, they just do it at a time. Just like the scriptures say, that you least expect. Like a thief in the night. But he not going to make you aware for men to go in the
Be prepared for when you reach.
in the store and lock up on shelves. No, he going to come at a time when you're not expecting him. Just like the prophecy says.
Just so you guard down. That's the point of it. Come when you guard down.
Yeah. And let's also add to it, with all these men that switching up the doctrines and so forth, everybody's supposed to talk about song doctrine. So guys what will keep your song in your faith, right? When you're switching up the doctrine, you come on. You jump from one thing, you come unstable, and then you come unstable. You know, so
like our foundation.
yeah, so when
build a foundation and you're supposed to use grey blocks. Oh God, you start to use red block, you run out of grey block now. So you start to switch in between blocks. So what money for the house? Foundation unstable.
So when the chip come now, you switch around so much and you become so unstable, you like maybe or maybe not. You know? It's
But I mean, look in the left.
Yeah.
I mean,
what's
the worst now?
Yeah, I'm hungry right now. So
Well, if he didn't get into it, I might as well take the man because like we get saved.
yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. All kind of things you go try to creep in to justify your mess.
You know?
And that is what it is.
And
That's talking about being faint-hearted.
Yep.
You understand the word that the meaning of faint-hearted is what lacking courage or resolution.
It's not it, yeah.
No, I didn't put it up here already.
Yeah, you don't get
Yeah,
that?
I'm
Okay.
done with it.
Are you
Still
ready?
lacking
You
courage.
ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I can say, I can also go back to these spirits. Remember, this whole thing is a spiritual thing. You understand? Right now, these men, these spirits are Judas. And what happened to Judas? It says Satan descended into Judas. A lot of these men are spirits on them. You understand? And these spirits have them doing what it is doing. And in that time to come, it's just going to be worse. You understand? These spirits, you're going to have spirits on more people to be able to fulfill certain things. Like all the scriptures say, brothers will betray brothers. And a man right man being on something like that. But if you have a spirit on him, you understand?
Anything is possible.
May be real. So this whole thing will have a big spiritual ripple effect also that people not taking into consideration. Why? Because they're not spiritually minded, as scripture say. Right? All the madness are going to be taking place. You know, like the same movie you tell me about Brandon. We are seeing all the spirits. Man can see all the spirits on the people.
You watch it?
Yeah.
I don't watch it.
I watch it and the man was seeing all the spirits on the people based on whatever brand that they used to be taking part in. And they used to see like there used to be like an attachment onto them. Like a boy eating burgers and the freaking burger spirit on the actual building, and like the spirit on he pulling him to go and buy a burger. You understand? That's how dread spirits that affect you.
As you saying that, you go on last night to drop something. So what we doing, right? We work 20 days. So the night now we're going to drop something for League, right? But what she is, they have an event. You know, school clothes, you know, straight like you know the kind of party school thing they do like a little band and stuff now. So they want to show some stuff. What's the thing? Going up to the event now, going up to which part they're doing it by the field to the left, they have like a Baptist place, right? And at the same time coming up, they're ringing the bell and they're singing that, right? And they smelling the incense and all this stuff now, and all these things now. And in my mind, I just had to say, because I went to so I say, call upon the Lord, because as we see that nice thing, as I open the door, you just feel the spirit. You understand? You feel like hey, there's something around. So I even get the I watch up and I see the temple in there and I said again and I just jake. If you see them, red candle on the ground and all that something happened. So you know, I say so you pass it now. You know, you can feel, you spirit you're feeling that hey, this thing here and it off. Right? Yeah, so that's it was on my mind. So the person who thinking right now you see the time. So he on I hear so I close that day and he on the side now. So you know, so that it's about a stigma in the Caribbean here. Usually when people see Baptists and things, they be frightened now. So he know he on the other side now, so he was so what going on there, right? So see, you don't try to feel it, anything like, you know, you meant that, to the people,
Can't
you
get
don't
them
see that.
frightened, yeah.
So I watching all this to see what they're doing inside that thing, and you know, and next guy who going up now to thing, he passed and he see it, right, and he stopped. He go anywhere, no, but he stopped, and he just stopped just when he watch. And my man see that spirit catch him.
Yeah, call him. Remember spirit inside there was calling
catch him,
him.
you know. Yeah.
You come to the dark side
Come,
of the
come
force.
now, You see, and that is the thing, that is the difference in it. You understand? You realize, you could say what this one. That is why certain times, you might hear men get catch with certain things. Like, for example, a woman is carrying spirits. Just demons. These carrying spirits are there.
Can't fight spirits.
Yeah.
Can't fight spirits.
Next thing you know, and this is an example, you know, corona that woman. Like, you know, them Red Bull fellas and them. The spirits are too. You know, you see how operatives with the Red Bull and people and so forth. But you have man talking about what you're supposed to be a woman, but you still curling with women. That's spirits. You understand?
That's all they study whole day and night.
Yeah.
That's that kind of woman worship a spirit.
You're married, Lord. And you show yourself to be a man of God. Scripture talk about who you man of God, right? Yeah. And you show your man of God, right? They'll be in trouble. Oh, the scripture said, how did you just cut it off?
Yeah. They say what they say, you shall meditate therein.
Yeah, and night.
Day in and day out.
Yeah.
If all you just study is woman whole day, then your mind,
Yeah,
nobody say you can't want a woman. Nobody say you can't think about how women's supposed to be, how you supposed to be as a man. But if morning, noon, and night, all you just think about is women, you have a problem.
Yeah. Even go to the fact where I realize that when you need to this, I always have to put it that you just have things that would fight you. There are many forms of people that would fight you. Your family, your wife, your kids, whatever it is. You realize that certain times, it's obviously spirits dealing with. And the more you give that spirit that attention, is the more you go come around. You understand? That's the reason why the Lord give us certain ways to deal with certain things. And when you actually apply to what the Lord is saying, right, it will actually cut off that. But you have to do what? You have to apply it first. You understand? They can't say you're reading it, telling somebody to do it, and you yourself are applying it to whatever it is. Come on. It makes sense. You know?
That will also have an effect on it. You can hit these scriptures say, be a hypocrite.
God
Say what they say, thou that teaches a man to steal, does thou steal? Yeah. You understand? You are to apply the same thing you're teaching somebody else. Once it is you teaching somebody not to do things, and you doing the same thing you tell them not to do, you have 5 more fingers pointing back at you. That is why you have to be careful. Now I even tell people, if I realize that you're not on the scriptures, I ain't trying to teach you nothing, because all I go and be doing is putting bullets in your head. You understand? Okay, you're not going to fall it, and just educating you and teaching you more to put yourself in a hole. Because scriptures say what? They say to he that know it to do good and do it is not, to him it is sin.
Yeah, you realize how serious, right? You realize how serious, right?
Once you know the correct thing and you're not doing it, it's worse for you than anybody else.
No, that is when you read that, they know you have to apply to the men that teach you know the false doctrines. They know that way doesn't teach you wrong. But what they're doing is doing it for the cloud. That's why when you watch some of their breakdowns, you don't understand how these spirits is good. When they start to do the breakdowns talking about the heathen shall be saved and so forth, they see them giggling and laughing and giggling. Or they might say, well, this is what the apostle elders and great men would say, so you try to, it's for a particular reason, but it's never a good reason. You understand? Yeah. You know? But they know the good from the bad, they know. There's a fear, you want to ever win that spirit, man.
The scripture say what it say, because judgment against that evil work is execute the spirit. A man can talk shit when nothing happens to him. It's not big man thing. Like remember he was making a point the other day with Venezuela when they was talking about how they go attack this Guyana. They go attack Guyana with force because that is their oil field and so forth and so forth. And men was talking big. As soon as America touched them, men was like, hey, we want peace. You understand? When somebody big and bad and you touch them, that is when you're ready want to calm yourself. But when nothing is happening to you, you just have all the mouth in the world. Like you want to get locked up. Put up with the camera. Yeah, talking to the Baba with the Prime Minister. At the point in time when she was talking big, she had all the mouth in the world. The minute police touched down and she goes step and push in her handcuffs. All her mouth just disappeared. It disappeared, all her mouth. She tumbled, we jump out, she mouth and run out the road.
Yeah, she had more than she talking about it like she go from the detention center. Because she just have a hot mouth. to pay for actions have consequences, you know. But as your brother says, only because when things are affecting him, you have the most to say and the most to do. But as it affects you, that is when it doesn't know, and I go back to what you're saying. Just stuff not affecting Jake right now, right? Plagues not affecting them, pestilences. Other countries right now going on any lockdown for the H1, H5, right? H5N1, I mean, or by maybe, right?
The new form.
The new form of it.
The evolved form of it.
Yep, so the place you going to back mass. That not affected JK or in many other places, right? So they believe in the mindset that things good. You know? Yeah, man. The brother said they meant the parang, because parang is until they used to go and play music for Christmas time.
It come like the
Christmas carol.
Caribbean version of Christmas time. How will it come back?
Yeah, so that's what the man said. You know, I think that's thing, but as that problem, man, and hey, you know, fathers will, right? But they chop at them before Christmas, right? They chop at them before Christmas. So the festive time turn into what?
Morning.
To morning. You understand?
They say that at the time you're about to pull the belly.
Yeah. And I was waiting to
Yeah, I know, right. You know, just ironic that,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, come.
that I know, like, they catch people that when I really think, yeah, I'm going to get to enjoy myself. That is when, yeah, you win the lotto and right before you spend your first dollar.
Yeah.
Right before you cash that check.
Down in the hole.
Give up the goose.
You're going to man say, I'll bring down my bands and build bigger bands. So, like, tonight, Reggie, when I you understand? You didn't go and get to build that band.
You get to break down the old one.
Yeah.
Watch me build that band.
See,
I think that was verse 12.
Verse 13. Ecclesiasticus 2 verse 13 it say, warn to him.
Before you finish, right? Remember the book of Amos, and this Amos chapter 5, and I just want to jump from different verses in it, right? So let me just read Amos 5 and let me read 6. It says, seek the Lord, and he shall live, lest he break out like a fire in the house of Joseph and devour it, and there be none to quench it in Bethel. Right? So it says, seek the Lord, and he shall live, right? And we'll jump down to verse 14. It says,
that wasn't a request. It wasn't something that's optional.
yeah.
That's why they call him what God is living.
Yep.
There's no way that you could find life outside of the Lord.
Yep.
It is designed that way. There are certain things that the Lord designed to be a particular way and have no way around it. You know, like what some pastor was saying was, I think it was Crefeld, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was talking to Oprah and he was saying something about, you know, there are many ways to get to God. Some bullshit, so the man was saying. The scriptures tell you what, it said there is one mediator, not Mary, not Michael, and the archangels or the saints. No. You say what, there is one mediator between power and man. You understand? Only one. And that is true Yahushai. And to go through Yahushai means to go through the things that he told us to do. If he told us to live this way, there's what he had to do. If he told us to not do these things, there's what he had to do. Like what made Job perfect, they say because he feared the Messiah and his true people, he hated people. So when he was going according to how he was supposed to go. Right?
No, that's why you should tell the woman when she asked for sons to be seated with him now. He said, they will surely drink of my cup. But it's not my place to tell you that, you know what I mean, they will be seated at my right hand. But they will drink of my cup. You know what I mean? Because people think it's always ice cream and unicorns. No, sometimes it's water and dry bread. You understand?
That's the false belief in always that
spirit of convenience.
Yeah. Or that good wisdom doctrine.
Yeah.
You understand?
So I see that there is doctrinal levels.
Once it evil is it devil?
Once it not prosperous, I see it. Don't fight in my account, boy. Think, put your bank card on the old time. Right.
You sing a song like that, boy, but they see the glam and the glitter.
It's not an easy road, but you see the glamour and the glitter.
Right,
think
when
a
they see
better
the glam
road.
and the glitter, them think it's a better road.
Who
Yes.
feels it knows?
Right. They see the glam and they're watching, they're thinking about the reward, but they ain't thinking
But that's
about
what
the actual struggle.
televised. That's what televised.
Yes.
You understand? That's what publicized. I want to see him when you go to church, you pass in a different suit every week.
Right.
Never in the same suit twice. Big brand name car.
In fact,
This time, yeah, no. That's the fella in Crep International is Crep. I used to go to church with my stepmother and I watch man. I never see that man wear the same suit twice. Man. Not once. Not once. Yeah.
My same looking shoes.
I don't know about the shoes, man. You see this one?
But
The front side.
there were a supporter as you see what that to run the race.
Done.
So they wanted to see what the price.
Done.
They realized that that's the race.
Run that email.
Yeah, because
True.
again, we soon out of here. However you want to pay it, we soon out of here. Now we understand that there are prophecies to kill before we leave, and obviously Revelation 13 being one of the major ones.
Yeah.
But we see soon out of here because we've seen how quick things is moving.
Yeah.
You understand? If I bring up from Amos 5:14, it says, "Seek good and not evil, that ye may live.
Right.
And so the Lord, the God of hosts, shall be with you as he has spoken." It says, "Hear the evil and love the good, and establish judgment in the gate. It may be the Lord God of hosts will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph." Right?
Now you will be gracious to the remnant, because the remnant represents who you elect. Now I say what he shall gather the remnant from the
From the inside here.
and so forth. That's paraphrasing. I have a reason why they make these particular statements, because everybody not going and get out of the shit.
And that way it say, and I see that, and see go on to say, "Seek good and not evil, that ye may live. And so the Lord, the God of hosts, shall be with you as he has spoken." Right? So you're telling you how the Lord will be with you. You have to seek what? You have to seek God. You understand? So let me jump on a little bit now. Let me go to verse 21. You know, and as the more we get into the time of judgment, Jesus, the scripture of the same that coming up. You know? Amos 5 verse 21. And let's go back to what you were saying before, right? It said, "I hate and despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Though you offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy voice. But let judgment run down as waters, and righteousness as a mighty stream." Right? So that is what literally with that is it, but let judgment run down as waters, and righteousness as a mighty stream. And that is what you want. None of these wicked feast days and all these other things will continue to do and all the continue being. You know, because one thing about Jake is what the love is with us. The love you love.
No,
That's the thing Jake loves. Right? That's the thing Jake loves. The love evil. Matter of fact, we're not put three. Separate obviously with the love evil, right? Because the next two go into the midst of it. The love idols and the love of false prophets. The love, guys, the love, them things, the love. Yeah.
Well, that principle there, you know, that the feast days evil because you don't get judgment for doing what is right.
Yep.
You know, so if you can say, let the water, let judgment run down like water. You know, all your feast days and everything you keep on thinking is something that is wrong.
And now you say, your feast days.
Exactly. Not my own, all yours. Understand?
And the land itself will have judgment.
Yep.
In the sense of like righteous judgment.
Yeah,
So a man of right judging righteously between the faults of his brothers.
The place number one for homosexuality acts is where? Number one in the world.
What's it up,
It's Tel Aviv.
Yeah, Tel Aviv to be exact.
Yep. Number
And you
one.
read book after
There's
Tel Aviv.
actually man, it's not a movie, right? I can't remember the name of the movie exactly. And I really watching the movie exactly. It was a horror movie, right? Going into how some people went there to celebrate the festival. That same festival, right? And what they do when they're walking on the streets and thing, right? There's put gates and there's lock. The gates just lock up. Lock, so boom, boom, boom. And inside just going on the gates, so that's homosexuality.
Also trapping it inside.
Yeah, so basically inside. And whoever outside obviously. But there's lovely gates and they said go straight down. Now, again, I just drew it from a reference from a movie, right? And as I said, it was a horror movie. And I found a different aspect there. But what they were showing is how the people went to take part in the festival. right? You want to take part in the festival, and when you want to take part in the festival, there's lucky gates. So they go around one part, you know. So you come like you have to take part in it. Don't say anything in it now.
Whatever happens in Vegas stays in
And
Vegas.
the reason why you reference, so how much wickedness is being done in the land. You understand? You do a little Google search, and if you just do a little Google search, and you will see what it is being done there. You understand? The kind of wickedness being done. And we understand it because, I mean, it literally.
Right now the laws
yeah.
stand for the Rainbow Nation right now. The laws protecting them hard. Every letter.
Then they get it being uncovered. The whole world getting to see.
A man digging through the walls. Come and see.
Yeah, the
Come
whole
and see
world,
what they do.
the whole world see how wicked it is right now. You know, the whole world see the wickedness. You understand? The manner of sin is being revealed.
Yeah.
You understand?
See, verse 13, it says, woe unto him that is faint-hearted. It says, for he believeth not. It said, therefore shall he not be defended.
That's the point I was getting at. So the ones who, as the brother was saying, always making our excuse, they find it hard to do the things of the Lord. But yet still call themselves men of the Lord. You know what I mean? But always quick and eager and kind of easy to do the things of the world. Whatever it may be. You know, rather than doing what you're supposed to do. That is a sign of what faint-heartedness, because you have courage and you're diligent to do those things. You understand? But it's not the other way around when it comes to the Lord. You know what I mean? In the time to come, you shall say what you will not be defended. You know what I mean? And you're going to need that defense. Because you can't get away from it. As the scripture says, like what? You flee from a bear. From a lion and a bear met him. You know what I mean? And when you think you're teasing the rest on the wall, is that so?
Yep.
So you're going to need to be defended.
Yep.
You need that shield.
You need that shield.
You need that sign of defense.
That be the good thing you know, say, right?
Yeah, you need that defense for it. And that time to come. You need the defense now, I know. And that time marriage. You need it now.
You need it now.
More now so than ever. You think? And that time I even hear you. So imagine when maybe you grow up with both of you on one mango tree, saying, anybody come on this mango tree, you're losing the hair. But I always have in your village tree. What gonna happen? Who can defend you from your neighbor? And when you and the family eat out the mango tree, they say, therefore I am. Therefore I am. Just make dog eyes, alright, so yeah, kill them dog and take the
Yeah, and that's,
that's a serious thing. That's why you go end up too.
and again, people need to realize how, you see, one thing about Jake, and them, especially on this side, they never really went through anything catastrophic.
The foresight.
Yeah, the foresight.
So they might just think, well, whatever going on in Venezuela and America, we on America side, so we good. No, you have to understand, nothing is made in Trinidad and Tobago. Nothing other than idolatry and revelry. That's all we just create. Idols and revelers. That is all. Bacchanal. Nothing good, nothing productive, nothing economic. Right? We don't do that here. That is not we job. We job is to have a good time and say, we're here for a good time, not a long time. So we don't care about going with Venezuela and America. Right? Forgetting that we don't make nothing, everything we does import. And if this happens, there will be little to no import. So you know what I mean, right? Famine. How much are all you who does buy case of champagne, case of this big boy drinks to go and drink and go on boat ride and thing, ever went a day without eating? Ever went a 2 days without eating? What going on in that time when you have all the money, you know, but it ain't have to spend on it? What happen when the gold and silver can't save you?
Yeah,
What you gonna do?
something I try to remember is a movie I try to remember, and all what the man do, all what the fella do in the movie, at the end of the movie, he do real wickedness to get we had to get real shit. And the end of it, you see people he get everything from, they give him it, and they just change everything. I'm trying to picture it exactly how it
Keanu Reeves?
Nah,
He's not devil's advocate when he was the lawyer. And the devil come to him in the bathroom and he said, eyes are winner, and at the end of the movie is like,
come to North, you know, but nothing.
Yeah, the devil,
and he was just like,
devil was the old man, but the
Al
same old man was always like,
Pacino.
Al Pacino.
Yeah, I think it's Al Pacino was the devil in it.
No, he was Nicholson, Jack Nicholson.
So was Jack Nicholson?
The short old man with kind of wicked
Yeah,
smile.
wicked smile, yeah. I could be wrong.
I think it's that was that. Now I remember it to be.
And he ended up at everything that he do real wickedness, you know? And then
and the devil just gave him all the right answers and showed him everything good. He's a lawyer. At the end of the movie, the whole script come and flip.
That's switch. I think he ended up dying or something like that because everything that he think for, it come to naught.
Yeah.
They switch everything and he was like lost. He was like everything he fight for, just come to shit man.
So nothing, no.
Proverbs 20.
Proverbs what?
Oh yeah, sure. So like, Proverbs 24 verse 20. So like, I forget.
This is the book of Proverbs chapter 24.
Yeah, but
Have it? Proverbs chapter 24 verse 20. Right? It says, for there shall be no reward to the evil man, and the candle of the wicked shall be put out. And I said, in that time to come, you know, and that's how these men going to be at. When shit pop off, and they realize all the things they set out for, when they notice they can't use it, that is when it will be like, wow. So then what we do it for? That's it, the same thing like Judas. And so when the spirit leave him, and you get to realize where this took place, what you wanted to do? You wanted to get about the money.
I'm angry, we come for the shekels, that's it's 20 shekels. I keep forgetting it's 20. Yeah,
Sticking with it, sticking with it.
I'm angry, we come for silver, like what kind of, like that words that he saw, I'm not,
They're good.
for pottage, you know, like all that benefit you. You understand?
Yeah, with no way, no how.
But then again, as we understand, like how you probably started it was not his choice.
I was
You understand?
his purpose.
It was chosen
It was
for him.
created for that.
That's just how it is go out here in the streets. Some vessels was made.
For not to the sun.
Ultimately, he saw his best love to this honor. But on this side, some of our people will fall in a similar lot. You know, they were created for destruction on this side.
Just 30 pieces of silver.
Yeah, 15 silver.
Let's keep it at this 20 or 30.
This is 15.
Right? You're not bring all this here, right? You finish it? What I was saying? Let's read this. Let's go into something else. This is the book of Ephesians chapter 6. And I'm going to read from verse 10. It says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
The strategies, the
The strategies,
things they will come
trickery.
into with God.
You understand?
Because they'll make the worst look good.
These
Look
are
at
the armor.
God.
You know, like the feeling for your friends.
Yeah. So you put on every piece of clothing and feel you can stand up in front of
I'm
them.
saying that, where your fringes at? Where your fringes?
Where your feet at?
You don't even understand. You
Where
don't even understand what the purpose of the fringes. But their whole teaching is that in order to be saved, you have to be wearing on the fringes. You understand? But you don't tell the where you want to enter, this body can't enter. You understand?
No, if a man don't come up fresh on the bathroom and a man get beat up, you get behind them. You get
At a point in time, and I could be wrong, right? At a point in time, they were actually teaching nothing. They were actually teaching that when the Lord come and you don't have any friends, you will be saved.
I think
That wasn't recently.
it sounded like that. I go like it sounded like that.
No, I tell you that this was some good years back.
Yeah, no, I tell
They
you.
was actually saying, as I said, I believe that something along those lines, right? That you have to be in the fringes to be saved, you know? So it says, put on the whole armor of God that he may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
Yeah.
Right? And this is really got us talking about the armor of the devil. You understand? And stand against the wiles of the devil. The wiles of
The strategy, the word itself go back to stratagem, which is like the root word of strategy. So it's basically how they're going to bring it across to it. Like the medications and things. The only benefits, you can't see it, I think, for your eye. However, the side effect is blindness. Oh, you understand now? Like, just like the juice. Yeah, go back to normal. You can't go in a restaurant, you can't go to the cinema. You have to 6 feet, you have to put a mask. Then, and here the kicker, the week after they advertise the juice, and the majority of people take it. You know what they say the next week? If you take the juice, you could still get to it, still at a social distance and wear your mask, and people was like, no, so then what we take it for?
Right now you're seeing endless articles coming out showing you that same juice
That was
connected
worse
to
than
all kind of
No, but the juice itself was worse than the actual problem.
because that was the point.
Exactly. But what we say, what we talk about is what? Why is the use to con the people into taking it?
Yeah, so like
Give them the problem and offer a solution that way and people understand the problem, you know,
Yeah.
but we want to dress it up real nice.
so like
So they wouldn't view it as an amber.
you know what's an example of that? This week they release on the news that the jab, right, the vaccine,
Yeah.
it caused major heart problems, right?
Yes.
Inflammation in the heart here.
Yeah, no, they didn't say inflammation. They actually thought, remember before they were saying inflammation, right? Now they actually say it caused.
But information in the heart is
It basically,
same thing, you know.
same thing, yeah.
I'm not
but,
gonna at all, you know.
but actually, what they said this time that it caused
Major heart issues.
major heart issues, right?
Right.
And remember, I think it was last year or year before, they was talking about how the increase in heart problems rate, right? So they're telling you,
Yes.
what they do? They bring a solution, right? Was a solution for a problem that they themselves caused before. They bring a solution that caused a
Worse
next
than the
thing, you know?
Yeah.
And that is putting on the own armor because again, I hear why you putting on the own armor, right? I just think that this is just a normal fight. You don't understand the man, you know it. It should also, but the man is sinning, you understand? It's the man is sinning. That means everything he would be doing as well. With his argument Daniel 20, Daniel 12:10.
If I can say, you say you can talk about that, right? In that period in time, even still has happened, but not as rampant as before, right? You would see people just falling on the ground and
Yeah, that
just
was
going.
that was right after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's still happening, but more
Thing and all that thing, yeah.
and newscasters and whatever.
Yeah, newscasters.
I see one the other day, and it lead me in my spirit to go and search if like 10 years ago or 100 years ago, how many people were just just often like in less than age 30. When you search it, you know what I say? There is no clear information to blah 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 blah, like there was more or less telling me F off now.
Last year, I think it's either early this year or late last year because it's still fresh in my mind. I remember doing a video on an article that came out that says the juice, right? They seen an increase in cancer, well, the turbo cancers, and the same heart problems in people ages, I think it's 20 to 40. So now the UK's mortality rate is now within that little generation there. So the old people outliving them. That's what they say.
Which wasn't normal before.
That is it. And what they trace it back to, the only thing, all these people that in this year they come on.
You know this mortality rate come up very plenty. Only after.
For 5 to 6 years ago.
Let me just say like 3 years. We look at any 2 years before coming out within the jab, within the process of lockdown, and then after. Because the mortality talk only come out right after.
No, but what is going with that virus too is how this program is with that docile period.
No, I understand that.
So when you take this, you won't walk around
Yeah,
for a month and 2 months
yeah.
feeling like Superman.
Yeah.
Hey, I could breathe out the bomb for no mask. When the police brace say you pull out your little card and smile, not knowing but you done dead. You're dead,
But
man.
remember that was what the doctor said. He said after from when this year, after 4 years from now, that is when they will see the
Really effect.
3 to 4 years, I think he did
after,
say.
yeah.
I think
the effects
yeah.
of it, and that is what we see
Yeah,
here
yeah,
today.
can.
You know,
And-
again, they go back to how the man you're dealing with,
Yeah.
how wicked he is. You understand? Release, you know, just the release that easy. Bring a solution, and then the solution causes more problems than
The initially,
And he
the
just do,
solution is a bigger problem than the problem.
and he just do out everything he just doing. Even with the stuff he's putting in your food, like aspartame and certain chemicals.
certain things, yeah.
They say that, remember, some people will get affected by it quicker, while other people will take more time. So it wouldn't happen to everybody instantly to make it look like an actual.
You know, this week I said that how Jake has for all, how he sort of for all everything for Jake, and Jake is still out there. When they eat the same thing that they're paying into is mash them up.
But they just do that, they just do it conditionally, so they know in small numbers, because your body might be stronger than his body. It might mash down he quicker, and then it will take a longer while, so you can't really trace it back to one particular thing.
Yeah, and then how it is hide yourself too. I mean the control. But how it is hide yourself too. One of the ways is like as I say, a period of time, they go mash up one time. They go period of time. And by the time it's working out, and next problem come and hit you and they go blame it on that problem. You understand? It really highly initial. Read it Daniel 12 man.
Daniel 12 and verse 10. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly.
And that's the thing.
And
You have to realize that. The wicked shall do what?
shall do wickedly.
You can't expect the wicked to do good.
And none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand.
Yeah, but who shall understand?
The wise shall
And
understand.
that's R&D is showing you how it is. Who it will get it, who's going to get it. Right? Yep, that's right.
That is why he said Jake's one day. Because they wicked. But I said none of the wicked will understand.
None of the wicked.
It's the wise,
But
it's the wise
but
guys.
as I say, wicked shall do what? Wicked shall do wicked. They can't change your way. You understand?
It's a malicious soul wisdom.
Yep. Listen, look at, before I read out, before I just go back to Ephesians, let's read this quick. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5.
Ooh,
Now, let me read from verse 4. It says, behold, the soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. It says, yea, also, because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, he that keepeth at home, who enlarging his desire as hell, and is as death. So the scriptures call this man as well as death. Does the man did you know it? You know this, that red horse, right?
God.
He said, I cannot be satisfied, but God unto him all nations, and he put unto him all people.
For one
Right?
purpose. To what? Resources. I want all these people as my allies so I could dip in their cookie jar when I need to, and leave mine alone. Or take from them cookie jar, full up mine, and then make up some BS excuse to one take over and next covet another field by violence to full up all your own. And when man go down a little bit, I take from all your own, go back in man, and we just keep doing it. And now we in the Caribbean.
I say they like it as Helen, as death and as Helen. They don't understand how heavy that is. Because some months ago, these small lads came on a video, the main prime minister came on a video stating that the war with Iran is not done. Right? It's going to happen. And he did say by 10 December, all of a sudden today, Australia get attacked. These people get attacked. And you know who to blame? Europe.
Usual suspect, Rastaman.
Yeah.
You have to blame somebody.
Yeah, they blame somebody.
Let me show you how we get the stories, right? Esau will come and tell me, here we go. This food, delicious. I've ever seen an article saying, oh, they say, this is cereal healthy and avocado or some shit like that. Like, they will come and try to convince you. What? They're telling me, I saw this or something like that. I think it was the FDA or somebody. They will come and try to convince you that this food is good to eat. Just like we was talking about with the oil. How it was originally made for cars.
The person who created the FDA,
Yeah.
is the oil Crisco. That was the first one I cooking on, right? That wasn't made for cooking. That was made for engine.
Remember the apostle talk about the fried food because oil is something really literally you're not supposed to be really consuming.
So they convince you that it's good to eat. They get, put it out in commercials for the thing. They can eat it, get sick, and then sell you something now that they know ain't going to fix you. So they technically how you working to eat it. You understand? Just to be able to get money from you. That's why you remember in the documentary I watched, the city put the prescription industry, pharmaceutical industry. It's a multi-trillion dollar industry.
Yeah, and remember what the word pharmacy go about too. What the pharmacy go about too.
So they technically casting spells on you.
That's why they don't ever cure you.
Yeah,
But they say that it's more expensive to cure somebody than treat them. When I cure you, I said you ever see me again until
No. They say it wasn't that. They say it's easier to treat somebody than to cure them. Meaning that it's not even that to say they make more money off of treating somebody.
than curing them. That was just more expensive to cure you because it's a one and done situation. When I tell you coming back every week for that.
Yeah, to them it's a loss.
You're right. It's like it will be an expense to the business. So because if I treat you once for the month and you cured for 4 years and your money, and again, but if I know every 2 weeks, bro, I come in, you have to get painkiller, thing for blood thinners, for circulation, this, that, and the other, so like every 2 weeks, I'm sure I have 300 in the bag. From one man, and he's not the only person suffering from the same thing.
But you also remember that's how sorcery is work.
Can.
There's a reason why with the Lord, you turn to the Lord and you ask him and he however the judgment may be, you get the answer faith. With sorcery, it's a continue moving on. Back, going back,
over and over.
Witchcraft.
Like manipulate, you just have to maintain it.
You know, funny. I see me talking, I see a post just when the last 2 days or something, and the doctor had a stick man, he was pointing at the child and he say, every patient healed is a customer lost.
Yeah, I know that one too. I know that one too.
Yeah,
I know that one as well.
Definitely. Daniel?
Yeah, you finish Daniel. Let me go back to Ephesians 6. It say, so again, let's read now verse 11. It says, put on the whole armor of God that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Right? And
the wiles come in every form.
Yeah, in every form. And this is, and here, why you put on this armor, right? It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against the spiritual wickedness in high places. And that's why I'm putting this there, putting this armor. Right? And going further on, I read it. It's telling you different pieces in the armor and what it represents. Right? And what you have to do to put on this armor. That they will be protected from these being in that high spiritual wickedness in high places, you know? To protect you from the wise and the devils and so forth. Right? And again, you go back to this word. That is why when you see these people outside here, to get this protection, they have to do what? They also have to do some form of wickedness. And who this is turning to get protected? You can't go to the man who bringing these things for protection. And that's what we're going to do all here. Or let's turn into the man, right? Or let's turn into Esau, that going to bring these things to all here. Imagine that, you turn into your enemy. Go ahead. You know?
And as an enemy that when you keep your word. I always say there's one thing I never teach me. Is that you never make a deal with the bad guy. Bad guy is never. yeah, never, ever keep your word.
This show, thing is Loki. And every time you trust Loki, every time
Loki backstabbing, every time. You don't ever trust, you don't ever make a deal with the bad guy. If you make a deal with him, you have to double cross him because he's got double cross you. Yeah, you can't make one deal with the bad guy. Yeah, you have to try to get the one up. You understand? Like Esau, every treaty Esau ever makes, you always break it. Always break it. You can't trust him. It makes no sense. He's not going on, even though he might act like it at the beginning, until he reach a point where he's no longer useful, he's going to go right down, tell everybody else. All the men who making all them agreements, don't worry. When we set up with the system, we want to make sure you have they say what the words of his mouth was was wars in his heart. When he done with you, he have no reason to want to fulfill his word. What going on stop him if you don't? You can't even stop him now. Men coming and seizing your oil tankers. You can't even stop him now. What you're going to do at that time when he complete the enterprise? You don't have to follow what he says. That's just to get you to comply, to go along and do your part. It makes no sense that scriptures go on here. Say well, all things are written, aforetime are written for our good. Say never trust
enemy.
Tell it. I remember you one in Proverbs of the wicked. Another fact is but continue.
You can't trust them. No matter what happens, he will always betray you. Esau designed to be treacherous.
Man should trust your own kind.
Yeah. And blow up a middle with your own people to fulfill your agendas. If you do that to his own, what do you think he'll do to you? You understand? What do you think he'll do to you? Being like other Edomites sometimes. And rednecks and them they go out catching alligators like that. Them is collateral damage to here. Much less for you who don't even look like him. You understand? All them who want to put trust in these Edomites, they're not good on. We don't want to sorry for them. Not going on, you're not going to share that here.
I'm coming with the intention of double crossing. Why did I sugarcoat everything? And when they make everything so good, seem so good in the beginning.
But then the scum,
Until by the time you realize it's bad, it's too late.
them is scum just like you know. But the same way he will betray you and the same way them betray them too. Them is they are of their father the devil. You understand? Scum just like scum though, we're going with him too. You know what, I'm sorry for them. Now I go and tell them here what's going on. They say if there's something adventure you can help you, right? Go to them that sell and ask them for more adventure. Can't help you. When place of repentance was open unto them, they understood not, but despised it. That is the mindset then. Men get filthy lucre right now, men get all.
Remember, rain never falling. You know, you're going to ask for it.
Right.
Rain never falling.
Right.
9 years I hear you talking about like the man passed with the other years, so it's still talking about that. 9 years now, I talking about rain coming, organized here on the yard. We're drinking, having our ball, I working hard every day. If it's 3 hours to cut down and shave off and shave up, every day I do that. And only having our ball. How's that drizzle it? You see the man who, you know, usually start to drop. You see the man who get the first drop and do so? He heart must be stopping his chest. And you realize it's water from the cupboard. That man heart must be explode.
He probably never seen the baby. You know I never overpass.
He might see he going up and running toward the ark and the body couldn't keep up. I sure.
The whole sky will be cloudy. And you know like, why the sky looking like this?
You see that one jump into me and so and he do so? No, bro, that was it. That was the scripture will say, as in the days of Noah, as in the days of Noah was going on. He was prepared for the end. That is what it represents. He was in preparation for the end and bidding other people to come and help them prepare. But what the other people was doing, as I say, marrying, giving into marriage, building. You know what I mean? Pleasures at this life. Scripture say what? When you talk about the affairs of this life, is a soul, a good soul that should never face, or something like that, paraphrasing. You know what I mean? No, it said no man that war it, entangled himself with the affairs of this life. So it's not saying, hey, don't go and work because you have to live. Right?
Not saying you can't get married, not saying you can't carry right to dinner.
It's not saying don't try and get a car. Because it would help you in this time, it would help like being real. However, seek ye first the kingdom, as what I was saying. Everything else will be added.
Use the word.
You don't abuse
not
it.
abusing it.
You know what I mean? That's what it is.
I want to wake up in that God.
I
don't have
I
time
want to
for
flex.
all this.
I want to flex. Man, watching Andrew Tate. I say, rich. You need to get rich. And getting carried away with that. He, like, getting carried away. He's a plan, like.
It's the book of Proverbs 29 verse 16. It said that when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, but the righteous shall see their fall. Right? And we're going to see that fall. You know, Surah talk about it in 29 and when it takes the fall, you will see the fall like enemy. Right? But as I say, you see the wickedness shall what? It said increase. And then we see, and no we charge because we see the wickedness increase against a grand scale. The brother talk about, you know, peace on the treasury. We go into like even they form with other NATO allies what they would call the ICC, right? The criminal court, international criminal court, right? Recently America pulled out it, I believe it was earlier this year, they pulled out from the ICC.
Yeah, that was under the Trump administration.
Right, and the Trump administration. And you know what they want to do is like actually put like certain sanctions in play to other countries with it, right? And it goes to show the treachery they have even with the allies. And they should not talk about that. How they're doing with the allies and so forth, right? That's why they should not talk about the peace, that here you go, right? And but you see, again, I just want to reference that treachery that people do. You understand? They make a pact with the other nations, with the allies, and they break it.
Yeah, they make a pact with the NATO nations to defend them, to come to the aid in defense. And then Trump says, before they don't pay me,
yeah.
it's back with
Nah, they don't pull now away. We tell them.
Yes.
We tell them this week. He say Europe is weak. He said you're weak.
Trump want to charge them to defend them.
He said, well, they're banking on my strength.
Yeah, no, that's my
He
sense.
said it's time to remove that. You understand? But we're glad because we can understand like prophecy. You know? A prophecy.
Nice when the UK and all these other European countries call for the I forget the word, but where they cut funding for all the other government funding, like Ministry of Education, and they cut it and they use the money to acquire new up-to-date weapons and I forget what they call it. They have a term for that.
Yeah.
I want to be honest, they say because why? You defend America too much, and now what? You become weak, you can't defend yourself.
And these supposed to be good Christian leaders, right? What happened to being a brother's keeper?
So man, this is either.
You don't want to be but these are the guises that they just use behind the scenes to make it look like God bless America. It's supposed to be good Christian morals, right?
This always dress it up.
So what happened to defense? What happened to being a brother's keeper? What happens if your brother have need? You lend your brother a code. Like none of these things is applying when it is so easy one.
No.
You understand?
What's he want? Does he take it? No, but I know.
Yeah, none of that. You go, all them principles and just go out the door whenever he saw one to get you away. You understand? And that's next week he act like if he
pride. Is he pride? Is he pride? But you see that? I say I'm 14.
Yeah.
I say I'm 13 and 14, so
I
I will be like the most high.
I know next one food after that mentioned I know they want to meet the think like they are God. Think they are God, you know.
Whatever. And nobody must because just say what they say the most high is in heaven, he does whatsoever he pleases.
This man took pride for that, he's also prideful, right? Elon Musk. When Elon Musk finally get famous to Jake, they started calling him the real life Iron Man. I remember Jake, the real life Iron Man. Elon, since Trump come to power, Elon Musk has showing his true self going into the aspect of why is he come back to Trump. He made a statement recently that every nation applies slavery, but it's the whites stop it. This is the kind of pride they get from these men. You understand? We actually come and say that all the white people need to take back everything. And again, say do you go couching? What? Take the eat of it. Yeah. You understand? There we have the book. This guy is it's sick. You know? But these men, when he wanted to put the chip in, when he doing it, I was saying it when he doing it, Jake was the first to say, well, I will be in the front line. You understand? Fucking idiots. You know? Now he on that white rant. Remember when it's on him, they got him recently, he was on the, when they was having the inauguration for Trump, he come on the stage and talk, and he copy, he did the Hitler sign. Remember that? You know that? And then each other come to defend each other say, and then do it. And then he did it. He did it. You know what I'm saying? He did it because he knew what he was doing. He fight forward. He come back in the place. Yes. I know you hear him talk every single day. He does post something on X, Twitter. White supremacy. Every single. Just 1 week here, the man on a run. You know run.
I lost my answer.
You understand? You know run. It making news. Talking about things, white stuff is slavery and white stuff is chico ban and the blacks committing genocide in Africa and all this other bullshit, but there's been different from them.
So what the whites in the gutter are doing to the next nation?
No, you see,
I don't understand.
Nah, don't come.
And I think, as I bring up that, I think that is why they left the ICC because the ICC wanted to bring them and try them.
Bring them and try them.
You understand?
Really
and that is why they said no, we can't stand for that.
I just kept saying, you should throw them out.
I know that is spread. I know one mention and say, remember the least joy. I don't joy him out. Joy him out at the ICC.
Yeah, the least is
Say what? Say the white stuff slave.
Yeah.
Scriptures say your sons were sold to the Christians.
Yeah. So. Very important. Say your son was sold. That is, I see myself as a pizza package.
They say your sons were sold to the Christians. So, who are the Christians? You understand? Who are the ones that people
Who was
sold?
selling your sons in the first place?
Huh?
Who was selling your sons?
Was selling the the darkies, the Hamite darkies was selling us to the whites.
And you know what it is? They would say, like I was recognizing for someone recently, they were saying that oh, it's the old selling. No, there was no way. Yeah, son?
And they know that. They know that.
Yeah, because when you go over there and say you are my brother, you say no, you are the child of a slave. They didn't go into slavery.
I
That's what they will tell you.
remember the Ella from Mississippi. Ella from Mississippi did a video. This was very long ago, so about 9 or 10 years ago, most likely, right? So that's why I tell you how long it was. And he brought that information for a guy, a Hamite, actually he did a documentary showing that the black Americans is not our people. A Hamite? I can't remember the Hamite or a Jake, but he was living in Africa. The Ella first introduced me to that particular that documentary itself. Yeah, when I look it up, and see it, and it was a live stream. I remember it was a live stream. I was comment, and I remember putting the name, I remember hearing the name, and he was like, yeah, but that's the name. And then he was like, that documentary, look up it, and the guys don't make a money and look it up. And then I get to see that documentary yourself, because he mentioned the name, and then basically you started the debates. Remember the debates?
Yeah.
I remember one of the most famous debates with Senator used to do the tea thing and this next one used to do the stuff. And then I debate with that old man and the man come and tell him the black woman is good. I remember that? It's a famous clip and then he tell him, right. And they used to mention his name, talking about that. And then the elder break it down from the video and say, look at the documentary and you see it. Look it up. And the guy didn't see it. He said, these people are not our
I think
kind.
they was going into Egyptology.
Right, and that's what about the show itself now. But I talk about I think they themselves is saying it. But the Ella is who actually that first somebody the information about the documentary and so forth. And it was actually going into harm and saying that hey, these people are not our kind. So they know.
They know.
Yeah, they know. So let's go back up.
You don't know his drink.
Yeah, so it says, wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the day of the evil day, and have done all to stand. And yet, yeah, what we're talking about. Have we done all to stand? And the question is, have we done all to stand in the day? It's Paul who say, it's Paul. Say, what's in the throne? I can't remember how far. He used Paul and say what? He have run his course, he run the race. You understand? And you know, what kind of work that he done, he did. You see that? Right?
Put on the whole arm that he may be able to. So if you're not wearing the arm,
You won't be able to.
in a battle sign, you can run out and I feel with 24 men with just your katana, no armor on, and feel it with you. No, it don't work so. In this battle, it don't work so because scripture they put it as what? As a water on one side, and fire on the other side. Like they need the whole armor. Everything had to work together. In my body, when the dark stuff and why this armor the man used to wear when you play it on.
Yeah.
There's a whole kit. It's not just a sword and not just a helmet. No, it's you have to put the whole kit.
Not piece.
Yeah,
because remember you say it's like when you read the scripture there, you visualize it. It's telling you to put on the armor to stand against the wild. It's telling about it's also telling about the enemies and you were being fighting, you know?
French fiery darts with no chest plate and no, you need the whole thing.
Right? It's be renewed in the spirit of your mind, right? And that he put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness, right?
And a new man is a whole change.
Yep.
That's why you see these men, when you look at them, wait, this gorilla say?
No, so like that was a new one.
Yeah, like
that's what we did.
Yeah, you already did that already. So.
Yeah, that's something different.
But we didn't really think about it. And that's your next word because ready and true. Gorilla was like, what? She was like, he was never really believe in the first place.
No, remember you said that in your
yeah, he never
saying just he never thing, you know?
So he did never become a new creature. You understand? He put on an helmet so you can understand something that break down concepts he didn't have on the whole armor. He wasn't renewed in spirit. He wasn't a new creature. So his obvious, and that hit him in the back. You understand? At some point in time, that hit him in the back. When we get one catch one in the leg, until eventually bleed out. It's a whole thing that I put on. No, peace. You want to do this, but you don't want to do that. You want to do this, but you don't want to do that. It's a whole package. It's a whole package. You have to go with the whole process. Right?
Yeah, go there and believe in the IOIC piece of package. It's a whole package.
Whole package.
It says stand therefore having your law. Sorry. It says stand therefore having your loins girt with about with truth and having on the breastplate of righteousness. And realize that when there's going to come a video on ancient armor, right? And you'll see how much equipment they support on them. You have the games, and you're going to farm for armor.
Yeah.
But watch how much armor there's have on here. It's had the launch pad, the breastplate, the helmet, the shield, you take the arm piece, and all these things they have. Right?
The belt.
Yeah, the belt.
The belt as well. To block your arm.
Yep. So it's telling you what where to protect yourself. Right? It's saying, and your feet shod with preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. Understand?
I'm a shield legend. I saw that no shield, it's not hard to try, it don't work so. You have to have the full package.
I'm thinking David, they need that.
And even David didn't come out to have battle with Goliath. When he fight Goliath, it was a one-on-one battle, he was at a distance. If he was surrounded by men without a flicking, you already had a divine intervention to get it from that, really real.
I mean, we're gonna they tried to put ham on him, but it was too
It was too
heavy.
But he could have fight.
When Samuel went for him,
I can't remember who went film, but somebody went. He said he would go up and they carry him to
before
fall.
that, remember before that when he went to be with father, he was in the field with the sheep.
Yeah.
All the rest of them.
All the rest of them.
And he say, yeah, pick one of them because them is them.
Them is the one David wasn't.
David out there playing with sheep, boy.
No.
So when Samuel do so, he said, we saw one down in the deal.
Nah, he said.
Samuel went down on
Yeah, Samuel, but he says, well, after he go through all and he don't tell them, nah, none of these
He
men.
said one missing.
Now he tell them, he say, are these all your sons?
Yeah,
and he was like, no, I have a next one.
Send for that one,
But he didn't waste time to call David because he tell himself that he can't be David, you understand? Had to be one of mother's sons.
He said,
Can't be David.
send for real players, man. Send for real players.
And then when he went to Saul watch him, I was like, what is it?
And your voice tell him, don't tell him anything. That's him.
Yeah.
That's him, David. Yeah.
So yeah.
This is all this
And
stuff.
when you read it, because you remember I think you were saying the story about David killing the lambs before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was and a bear, yeah. So they were saying thing of it, and then you remember, I was like, alright, go ahead. Yeah, it's like that, and they mind what you're thinking, you know? And then you remember the piece, and most important piece, as always some people that they read the story and forget one of the most important pieces. They say, Lord was what David did. You understand? So it's not nothing for us to
Yeah, you know the man talk about? The man walk up, he said,
Yeah.
this uncircumcised Philistine
Yeah.
is what all them fighting. Like, you know? And the worst thing is to call that man uncircumcised.
That's wrong paraphrasing, right?
Like
Yeah,
First
paraphrasing.
Samuel.
But when Goliath come on and tell him, when Goliath watch him, Goliath was like, this, the trying to tell him, all the bring shame to me, Yeah, son? It's a moon.
Uncircumcised Philistine.
You hear that? Did you hear that one on board? Yeah. It's in that's what he is. And still with the team after the field.
After,
Yeah.
And that kind of battle. God was with him, yes. But it was a one-on-one. It was a one-on-one battle. Man was at a distance. Because I still. But let me say you surrounded by 20 men and no armor. Divine intervention really had to take place for you to survive that. You understand what I'm saying? You wouldn't
He needed divine intervention.
Yeah, you wouldn't survive a battle like that. Surrounded by men with swords.
Everything is not even and then should be put us in Lord.
Nah, it's on 16.
When the cut here, the cut here.
the whole story.
Remember how we gave up the thing?
Somebody was on the net, I didn't talk about the fight.
It's from 16, chapter 16.
Don't take it straight first. It's not from the other. Okay, you wasn't going to tell she shit. She wasn't supposed to know nothing. So they all goes back to the same thing. Lord give it. Lord take it away. Say what I kill, I make alive. I wound and I kill. It all goes back to the glory.
I'm going to show you actors in that time. They know they had them and they take away power. That know any true power too. The Lord, you understand? And I know the Lord will make things work. He will give it something that go harder like that. Yeah, right?
But that was just a
But
sign of covenant.
yeah,
The actions.
strength from who? From the Lord. You understand? So that was the thing. That's what I had in my mind. The Lord gave him back that.
Which was his objective in the
First place.
ultimately to crush everybody in the building. Everybody come to see David, come to see Samson chain up and to make mockery and make his eyes burn out. Everybody, he was a pest in the society longest while. So men come, everybody coming, probably most of the Philistines will be coming to our temple just to make mockery and pelt stones and shit. You know, pelt one stone, one shekel. Pelt a stone at David. Everybody will be having a good time. Not realizing the Lord set men up to, you understand, to freaking, and with the time up was the two main pillars that was holding up the temple. When he pushed that down, everybody dead. Everybody dead. And that was ultimately the Lord's goal for him. For that to happen ultimately. The Lord could have made it happen a different way. But that was his choice.
You could have sent the same one that you sent by Job.
Yeah, it could happen any other way. But that was the thing that the Lord chose to happen. He had to be a martyr.
And again, I've also been an example. You understand? Again, you don't realize what went through. But again, it all comes back to the Lord giving you that. Everything goes back to the Lord giving you that.
And so many lessons in that story,
Yeah, that's really. Even David, even that piece going up to when he fight the lad, that whole piece here was a full story by itself. You remember after that he was already talking about the lions and bears. Then the other man who was watching them, they didn't even consider him to be like that thing warrior because he didn't have a stature. You know?
Judge a book by his cover, you say that's good.
No, you don't say don't watch it over the parents. I believe even some of the
or 64 or something like that.
He was like a preferred for Samuel 16.
Yeah.
I come to Samuel going to Jesse. And 17 is the fight. 17 is the opposite.
Yes, 17 is the come.
And 18 is when he got anointed.
That's good.
Now when he went back to the sword.
And when David killed out thousands.
17, 18 was when the Spirit of the Lord left.
No, that when they anointed David.
I know the evil spirit from the Lord troubled them.
The first chapter 17 was when they sent Samuel to Jesse to search out his sons.
17 is when that
17 was the fight, and 18 was when David got anointed to be king.
Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Right? Again, it's telling you what this is. It's not literally talking about putting on armor. You understand? How do you say this metaphorically? Speaking about it. You know, it's telling you what it is with armor. Right? It says praying always with all prayer and supplication and spirit, and watch it there too with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. And for me, the utterance may be given unto me that I may open my mouth boldly and make known the mystery of the gospel. Yeah, we want to do this to speak this word. You know? Remember,
say when I teach you the air, speak your little stuff.
yep. And remember, speaking this word is saving our soul. And that's what there's way to do. You know? But nonetheless, I'll take it better.
One more verse to read in the they say Ecclesiasticus 2 verse 14 it say, woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will you do when your hour shall visit you?
When you lost patience, you become weary of the word, you become weary of the Lord. You understand? You lost patience, but you don't have man. So what happened? You'll have no defense in the time to come.
what has happened to men who lose patience? What they do? There's a big demand servants and the maid servants, and stand to eat and drink with the drunkard. They talk about and look. As long as you start to lose patience, what will happen? You want to start to return to the things of the world. You go and start abusing brothers, and you go in and start defiling yourself with things you're not supposed to be defiling yourself with. It's an automatic system, you can always see it. You understand? And then from there, you just go right back to where you start from. It's like a door with it. Moment there, guys. Isaiah 66 verse 14. They say, and when you see this, your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish like a herb. They say, and the hand of the Lord shall be known towards his servants, and his indignation towards his enemies.
So your hand will known towards his servants, and indignation towards his enemies, man.
So you don't have enemies.
I don't everybody going to get you, man.
There are 2 more verses.
You can imagine, yeah, 2 more verses. But you can imagine, you say everybody going to get saved, but the Lord telling you come to fight. Who you going to fight everybody getting saved?
Save the coach.
Garments drenched in blood.
Yeah. Thy garments are from Basra. Yeah.
Who is he that cometh from Basra with thy garments?
Trinity wine press.
I have tried the wine press alone.
And they
Lord was with me.
They ain't talking about oil. They talking about wine.
Yeah.
They ain't talking about
You talk about wine.
Blood and grapes.
It's state garment.
when he was here the first time, the garment was stained with actual alcohol. This time it got stained with blood. Verse 15 is said, for behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind.
Yeah.
It said to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire.
Yeah, the Lord come with fire. The Lord not coming back to talk. That is we job. This is as much talking as the Lord will be doing. You know what I mean? That is it.
Sign of Jonah.
That is it. The sign of Jonah. That is what the Lord left doing. And as that sign pass, it will be flames.
And for the idiots that think they never did get destroyed. That's clear,
Men don't understand it. The Lord has come with a two-step system. First system is the vocal conversator.
That is why nobody like the prophets. Because you see a prophet start to tell you, oh gosh, what we do now.
Right,
That's how time is coming.
when you see Job, they said he knew whatever they watched him over.
So go from here, boy. Tell me most. I see something. When they want to hear, that when he hits man's
Imagine.
I said, this is the Lord's mouthpiece. This is the most the Lord will be speaking. Because the family word not fire. The family word right in. Just now they go literally run. By Sunday morning we might come here for doubles and morning, and it's because men line up in front here. Oh wait, that's not they're coming out there. No, that time has passed, right? I don't miss that. Alright? Because our event comes close. What do you know? All of it when the event is close.
We will do it. We will do it. That's why there's always show you. Even Esau, let's give them like a prelude. So how it gonna be in that time in us, you know? You can't come to me, right?
You tell you things what
I
happen.
tell you what, you can't come to me, right? Yeah.
If you light the stove and you leave it, and then you put your hand where it was light, and you go in and get burned. And you do exactly what I tell you not to do and you get burned. You can't come by me for bun cream though, because you're wasting my bun cream. You willingly do that. Take your bun like a man.
Leave the world behind.
Leave the world behind.
It was leave the world behind. When everything shut down, and all the Tesla cars crashing each other kind of thing.
Oh, that the one that they say Obama.
Yeah,
And the guy, when the woman was before everything happened, she went to buy the grocery to buy some stuff.
Yeah, that before the
Yeah, and you see the Edomite fella packing up a set of water and tin goods. And she watch him and she watch him like, what going on with he? And he recognize she watching him now. And watch she back and forth. And then continue packing up his stuff. That is the same guy that had to go to for medication for the son.
For the son, yeah.
Because he, my big shotgun pull out.
Oh, that would just go to the beach.
Nah, that's after the beach.
After the beach.
After the beach, when the sun was falling out.
Oh. No, I'm talking about when you see the...
Yeah, that's a movie.
Yeah.
When he playing.
No, when she see the man in grocery, that was before they went to beach.
Before all that happened.
Yeah, then after
and they didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And then look strange because my boy come up with a big shotgun. And he just step away from my porch, get back to your car. Man, neighbor for years with it. He looking for no small step like say what they say he had something.
Shall walk.
Anytime something happened to cause any kind of disaster here, anybody who was friends, not friends no more.
Like I have six, let me just say, right? A man has 6-pack soup in the house. Shit, break down.
Go back.
No, you can't travel look over the grocery.
Drunk.
You're afraid you hit boom.
Kaboom, you know where that kaboom
come
was
from.
Yeah.
You really want to give
You're
her
going
a soup.
outside, turn the back soup.
Man, you have a child in that day and the child throw away
Balling
food.
from.
Whoop. You can't throw away no food. That's the end. That day gonna be crying me. Watch me. You know that children know this. Hey, pick up that.
All who don't hit the trend, they go hit the trend.
Yeah. In some places can't burn up. That's that bad.
Yeah, but it's still just open. That man this way to eat, man.
Say we boil my son today.
Remember the Mexican gang? They're former getting rid of the rivals in the mafia. I think I
Yeah,
they're going to get a white skin. You understand?
For survival.
No,
When it's based on survival, it's on a whole different
Now
level.
a different skill.
You understand?
And they should have said each other always give you a kind of prelude to how we go in that day. Because again, remember each other's really champions. Each other, oh, it is one
No,
of
you know which one else?
Yeah.
Why you feeling coming down with great rap? Because you know you have a short time. So you read prophecy for yourself.
And each other show you how men is being that day, men going to hunt men.
And the more you try to dodge and break it, is the more it just happens.
In that day, men would not hunt men out. I never really watched it, right? But I see a clip. I always remember that clip every time we're talking about this because Walking Dead. Probably ever Walking Dead.
Yeah.
It's a real famous series. I never watched it.
Never game play too long.
Right. They are game play there. I never watched the series, right? But I watched these clips. And I won't say people say those go to a particular part. So there's some mistake now.
Yeah, there's some thing and this community out there, man. Everybody have come to the youth, man, all playing a fire. Everybody fire.
It has zombies. But you know what more frightful to these people? Not the zombies, the men who want to them. Guys really threaten the show, they try to the clip showing how these men.
I never watch it, I see this.
And the clip they showing how other men hunting
From other communities to come and pillage and take what they have.
No hunting them. You remember, you'll be moving, right? So you might end up in a territory that's not supposed to be yours, but a man protecting the territory, and a man might not put. He might set traps. Next thing you know, you're stuck up on a rope, hanging upside down. Yeah, come on, you can't even in your head with all the blood.
Yeah, you're bleeding the person. Yeah.
Yeah. You end up like that. You understand? But so in the same people like here, especially he's so showing it. I watch a clip, right? With a Esau, they were going around him. At time you want to do doing something called makeover, kitchen makeover, right? Kitchen nightmare. But at the next one you just do, he's actually going below your business, right? And he went that time, and the two Edomites, they are a chef, right? But the chef could cook. But them just don't like how the chef make the food. Because they have a problem with everything that's
a short fat man and the wife a little taller.
You're talking about them is true. I don't know what that's the next famous one. What I'm talking about is two old people.
Yeah, but
right?
I think I know that episode.
So here we do the people now.
People are going to say if you let the chef cook your business.
Right, but here we do that, man. Before you do that, you tell them, he gonna make the burger, right? What you do, he make the chef make it.
Yes.
When the chef make it now, the chef make it out and they eat it now. If you any woman, it tastes good, right? But then after, so here,
the chef
make it. Ooh, that's why it's not rare enough. But once he cut what he made, it's looking good, right? But she's saying, you know, the Caribbean, you can't bring no rare meat for no man in the Caribbean.
We naturally like to take one.
You wouldn't hear. You wouldn't hear.
You will pelt you with it.
Yeah, they will pelt you. You can't bust the thing and see it looking red. You mad? And that go back to be low because
you grew up like us.
Yeah, and that go back to be low. How we supposed to cook with food, right? She said it was too red. Then she was going to make one, right? Yeah, the super it was a burger. It was a burger. The super and then the husband said he better than the chef, he will go and make one. Man, the man take the party, let's do so. Whoop, whoop. And when they cut it, all you see is blood. That's running out. And she's in her like, this is how I like it. And she's like, this is how I like it. And that is some. These are about stories to show you they love blood. There's called them a bloody man. You understand? And they just eat blood. So you feel in that time, you feel that time, in that time become when food scarce, you really feel it. You man, some Tom and Jerry shit going up and they got it. You know Tom and Jerry, the big hammer. Whoop, and they got big ball in here. They got it. Whoop.
Some of them wouldn't even need food and still do it. Just
yeah, that's wickedness. Yeah, that's some wickedness. Hey, remember, the people don't realize when things break out, it will also be considered a civil war. You know why it will be considered a civil war? Because when shit pop up, the nation will Esau will fight against Jake. Esau against whoever. Yeah?
It will end up in, but like I don't act, but I would use a different word for it. Classism.
Well,
that's why I say go still be Esau against Jake, because Esau is the high class, Jake is the low class. But I talk about here.
Yeah. No, I talk about.
I understand where you're coming from.
For we here, obviously.
So we here, it will be Westmore versus we come.
Because we have a more aspect of, even though we are Elam in the beds, right? We still have more Jake than Elam in here.
Yeah, and we have a lot of prominent Jakes in society as well. So it will generally end up, at least in Trinidad and Tobago, it will be rich versus the poor.
No, obviously we will still have Elam versus Jake.
Yeah.
Okay, it have certain provenances where it's based
it's more,
Elam.
yeah, correct.
Right
Strictly
now,
Elam.
people want Jake, things good and they don't want Jake coming. When that Jake come inside there, they're watching this one.
Watching still is there's a strange car driving.
Yeah.
You working food job, you know, you looking for that same person also deliver the food on time, you know. Yeah, PBW 1113, a black Nissan, could you come please? And when they hear that little accent in it, could you come? Well, but police coming like they done there, like the shots fired.
Once I mention Nissan to the police, then we'll shake already.
But let them hear, yeah, my address is my address is 13 Beaton Road. You know how that's to talk, come quick, I'm on the ground. But you seen them half an hour after?
I mean 15. You don't have a car on the way.
You have a patrol vehicle in route.
Yeah, you're on the road right now.
Yeah, it's in route.
But more America, yeah, it's going to see more Esau versus Jake.
Yeah,
you know, a civil war. Elon Musk said this week, you see we are the verge of, and what's the word he used? I can't remember the word he used, but he was saying that we in civil war, just playing out piece by piece. He said we're going to end up becoming, but we in it. Yeah. You're seeing it. And he knew what he's saying because he, again, as I said before, he literally talking about white man taking back. Right? So he's talking about, yeah, we can answer that. And that's what soon eventually going to bring out the pack up with war.
Not full blown.
Yeah, not full blown. That's civil right now. You know?
Imagine what all them robot dogs that have been done as a head go and do. Imagine what you call the robot?
What?
The Hercules, you name the robot? The Android robot? Or Optimus. I know it's a name from a movie. Imagine Optimus, and this Optimus right now moving like a human being.
Yeah,
it's running like it's moving like a human move. And fighting and things.
Before my phone mashed up, I was watching a video with a man, I can't remember, but it's one of them states in America where they was walking down the road and it had a robot dog, but the dog was malfunctioning now, but and people was walking up and like, hey, you know, robot dog, like they're so fascinated.
Yeah, I see that video and they're fascinated by the eye. Remember that? Yeah. And the woman walk up and she said, oh my. She see the dog now, she realized. But, about a month after, when the first came on, right? The people who make it say we will never make it to fight war. A month after. Because he's so nice, they like, death and hell, right?
You can't trust them. No, the only saying in Bulldogs, don't trust them to niggas over there. That's what you play, I'm going to say I'm Bulldogs and say don't trust them niggas over there. You can't trust them either minds over there, you can't trust them.
Elon Musk bring on the robot Optimus, right? When he brings on the first time, the robot can even walk and so. And he telling you, that's how he said to me, so the trust words. He tell you, this is just a prototype, I should know them. You know the next month.
You walk like a man.
You walk like a man, running, talking and things.
Imagine what the intro you get.
You can't remember when he show you a prototype, the one he showing you a month after is the one he telling you about. And the one he month after is already a one way beyond.
They're bringing out the shitty version for you to see because they always keep one in the bag now.
China do what? China sell a dog so. It's an AI controlled dog that's growing up. He just sell it. The man do so. And then you able to invent the dog and them normal. And you even know that people are trying, even some people don't even know it was like. That's the kind of technology, and that's if we are like Lord we.
And then you see going saying like a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
It's literally a flies on the wall and it flies. That the kind of technology they're working with a flies.
Is that the mosquito and all the mosquito?
Is that a little one? Finish last verse 16. Right? Isaiah 66 verse 16 is say, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh.
With what?
With all flesh. Yep. They say, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Shall be what? Shall be many, right?
Yeah, so when the Lord come back to recompense the trouble us with.
Yep.
You know, when he come back with his reward to give every man according to his work.
To his work, that's right.
I hope your works was unto good enough. You know what I mean? Because you say he come back with sword and fire.
That's right.
Right? And that is just it. That is the revenge of the Lord. You know what I mean? So as for now, what we gonna do? We will do our works and keep we faith wherein we have believed. Because that's how we will be saved in this time. Until Yahweh shall pierce the clouds and come with our fire and our sword. You know?
Say what they say in thy wrath, remember mercy.
Remember mercy.
That mercy is way looking.
And mercy it's the men doing the work.
That's right.
Right? So with that, we want to give all praise and glory to
Yahweh, Hashem Yoshai, Hashem Kakadash.
Once again, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and William Teach Well. Peace and salutations to the brothers and the four corners of this earth, pushing this with the truth and in sincerity, more now so than ever, and also risking the lives, even more now so than ever. Keep all your faith firm. You know what I mean? We almost out of here. Until next time.
Shalom. Shalom.